Pirates season. First half, look, didn't go as well as anybody would have wanted it. Of course not. Very tumultuous first half. But hey, you open up opportunities to make some big strides here in the second half. Today on Unobstructed Views, though, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to take a step back, and we're going to celebrate the city that we play in as Unobstructed takes over downtown Pittsburgh this weekend. My name is Stephen Brault, and man, what a treat do we have for you guys here today on Unobstructed Views here on SportsNet Pittsburgh Plus. This is Corey Graves, former WWE wrestler, current WWE commentator, Pittsburgh native. Man, so glad to have you here with us. This has got to be a cool experience for somebody who you like baseball. You grew up watching Pirates baseball.
You left out that I'm a lifelong Yinzer, born and raised from Monroeville. I'm back here. I took a journey around the world, lived in Tampa for a while, went up to Connecticut, but I've been back in the city for about 6 years now. Still near and dear to my heart, Yinzer, the Pirates. I've been a fan, as tough as it has been at times over the last few decades, still a Pirates fan at heart, and this is always a thrill to come and hang out with you guys.
So you, as a Pirates fan, right, you look at the first half, you see things not going particularly well. What is somebody in your position, what are you hoping to get out of the second half this year?
Listen, I'm a baseball fan at the end of the day. There is nothing that makes me happier than heading over to PNC Park, sitting down and watching a game, win, lose, or draw.
Right.
With that said, I think in any sport, it's good to have a short memory. The first half of the season hasn't gone according to plan, despite having glimmers of awesomeness.
Right.
The sweep, you know, I was at the last day game with my dad. We went to see the last Cardinals game. So there have been glimmers of hope.
Of course.
But I think you have to look at this as a whole new chapter. It's the second half of the season, the All-Star break. It's a clean slate. It's an opportunity to right some of the wrongs, make some adjustments, and hopefully have a successful second half.
And you did Unobstructed Views once already on SportsNet Pittsburgh. You did it with for the Penguins.
Yes, yeah, I got to hang here with
December this year.
Yeah,
how'd you like that? It was fun.
Hannah and Max, we had a great time.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time talking about anything but hockey,
of course,
which I understand is detrimental to a hockey program. I'm going to try to keep it baseball-centric, but it was a blast. Anytime you get to sit and talk with good people and enjoy some good sports, I mean, there's nothing better than that. The only thing I'm missing is an IC light next to me.
That does sound really nice.
True Yinzer.
We've been trying to get that, man. It just still hasn't happened. Unbelievable. Look, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a bunch of stuff coming your way, including the live speed painter. That is the title that he goes with. Cody Sabol is going to be joining us. He's going to do some cool painting, and we're also going to talk to him about his status as a Pittsburgh native when we come back here on Unobstructed Views. go to CodySableArt.com. Look at these pieces he's done in the past. Sidney Crosby holding up the cup. That's a good one. TJ Watt. This is probably my favorite one that you've done overall, to be honest with you. I absolutely love it. And then, of course, you got to go with the classic Andrew McCutchen, Mr. Pirate himself. Everybody got to, once you do a little bit into the city of Pittsburgh and it comes down to players that you appreciate, especially in current modern times of Pittsburgh athletics, you got to talk about Andrew McCutchen. Cody Sabol, thank you for joining us. Pittsburgh native once again, but also somebody who specializes in a very particular kind of art. Why don't you take us through what you do first, and then we'll go into more specifics about who you've painted.
Sure. I am a live performance speed painter. I try to do these paintings in 10 to 12 minutes, and tonight we're going to be kind of doing the same thing, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to tell what we're going to do, what you're going to do, or do you want to kind of hide it?
Well, we just came back from the All-Star game, so we should do something that kind of has something to do with that.
Yeah, it celebrates a little bit. All right, that's a good solid teaser. You've painted a ton of things, right? And you've gone through everything from, like you said earlier, Yoda wearing sunglasses to pretty much everything in the Pittsburgh area, but you seem to always come back to Pittsburgh-based subjects in your paintings. Why is that? What is it about the city of Pittsburgh you think that speaks to you in that way to get that art out?
Well, I grew up here in Pittsburgh, and my first love was Pittsburgh sports. And when I was painting, drawing as a kid, what I wanted to do was Pittsburgh sports because that was the thing I loved, and I carried that with me as an adult, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you've been really interested in this. You've met Cody before. What is something that, as a commentator, when you watch him paint, do you think you could commentate, like give a play-by-play of his painting?
I don't know how exciting it would be because it wasn't until the very last minute that I actually figure out what it is that he's painting. But I've actually had the honor of being painted by Cody.
No way.
And it scored me more points with my wife than basically anything I've ever done. It was Valentine's Day a few years back. We went in the studio and he painted a portrait of both of us.
Wow.
It still hangs on our wall in our place in Fort Lauderdale. It is absolutely awesome. And I like to think that you can't consider yourself a true Yinzer legend until you've been painted by Cody Sabol.
Oh man, that's cool. Thanks for saying that.
We've seen you. You've painted Clemente. You've painted so many different Pittsburgh sports people, and today you're going to be doing another one of those. As we get into this a little bit, we're going to get to watch you go through your process. When you start your process, what are you thinking of first? You go with color, you go with shape, what are you thinking about?
First thing I think about is, well, I'm not going to screw up on live TV. Second thing I'm going to think about is how I'm going to build out the initial shapes of the subject that I'm doing. So that's like going to be I use a black canvas, so the second layer of that is going to be the next lightest color. So it's going to be the darkest color that I use to build out all the faces and the features, the things that I'm working on.
Fantastic. Can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. And when we come back from Unobstructed Views, we will get to see Cody Sabol start that painting as we watch the Pirates take on the White Sox. Unobstructed views, Cody Sabol throwing paint around the studio. Does this mean I start the timer? I'm going to start the timer now. Cody Sabol is going to be painting something very awesome over there on the side set, and then he'll join us over here. Corey Graves, Stephen Brault with you as on Unobstructed Views today. We're going to watch the Pirates take on the White Sox. I mean, honestly, the truth is the offenses in this game have not been the best offenses in baseball. Pirates 30th runs per game, in dead last place. The White Sox in 29th. You're going to hopefully we get to see the Pirates kind of turn that around a little bit.
I think this is a great opportunity to come out of the gates in the second half strong. You've got an opponent that hasn't been doing very well in the White Sox. I think it gives the Buccos an opportunity again for put a fresh coat of paint on things. You start tonight. I see what I did there.
Even Cody pointed at
you. But yeah, I think when you have an opponent who isn't doing particularly well, those are the kind of games you can speak to this better than I can that you look forward to, and hopefully you string together a couple W's to start the second half, and who knows, maybe that can build some momentum going toward the end of the season.
Yeah, if you wanna say as a team that's struggling, and you go back into that second half, when we were going through that same thing, for us it became what adjustments do we have to make to figure out where we want to be as a team. It's going to be tough to make the playoffs this year, almost impossible. And so now it comes down to figuring out what you have on your team. If you want to follow what Cody is doing the entire time, take a look at us on YouTube, SportsNet Pittsburgh, because if you want to just see that beautiful technique for the next few, I don't know, we'll see how long it actually takes, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Cody, what are you starting there? You starting middle of the painting? Is that face?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, I've kind of started all over the place on this one, just kind of building out the structures of this guy. One of our 2025 All-Stars here. So yeah, I'm in the neck beard region right now, trying to figure out where I'm going to go next.
Not the neck beard, but the neck / beard.
Yeah, that's just across the board in West Virginia
for me.
Exactly. Chase Meidroth leading it off against Bailey Falter, who's starting today for the Pirates. Falter, last two starts haven't been very good, so he's hoping to bounce back a little bit. Hey, this is a guy doesn't throw extremely hard, but he's got a good fastball, right? And it can be interesting because sometimes you don't understand why he is as effective as he is. Do you get in wrestling? Are there things like that, like guys who are better at certain things?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Everybody tries to play to their strengths. I mean, whether that be the offensive style they employ or charismatically speaking, a lot of guys are better on the microphone than others, and that's arguably the most important aspect of being a WWE superstar, is being able to convey your thoughts and your emotions. And everybody has different skill sets, and that's what makes it exciting. Because if everybody had the same exact skill set, then what's the point in watching the competition at all?
Right. It'd be kind of it'd be very one dimension.
Yeah, for
right.
Sure.
And that's one of the things in wrestling that I think is amazing is the ability to make it so you want to be a bad guy at times. You want to be a good guy. There are different guys who have different roles. And in baseball, you don't get to choose when you're the good guy or the bad guy, right? It's like you go on the road, now you're a bad guy. You come back home, you're a good guy.
You were telling me yesterday when we were chatting that you had a bad guy experience during your career. And I think it had more to do geographically with where you were than who you were as a person.
Exactly, yeah. Pitched against Chicago, and it was in Wrigley Field. And so I go out, I'm trying to have a great day today. And I go 2 2/3 innings. I give up 10 runs. I give up a grand slam to Anthony Rizzo, and Clint Hurdle walks out to get me. And he just takes the ball. I don't even think he said anything, honestly. I think it's just kind of like,
Did it feel like you disappointed your dad?
Yes, it did. And I probably actually did disappoint my dad, so you label that on top of it. That's not great. But I got a standing ovation from 40,000 people who couldn't have been happier to see me fail. It's a very interesting feeling, I got to say.
It is. It's not unique to the baseball world or the wrestling world. I mean, that was always my wheelhouse. I enjoy being the bad guy. There's an enjoyment I would get out of being booed.
Right.
And the best bad guys in the business have that. Because without a great bad guy, do you even have a hero?
That's a good point.
So
you got to have the villain. Cody, do you ever get booed? Have you ever gotten booed after a painting?
I just get nasty Instagram comments.
That's
what I get.
Stop it. I promise.
All your burners, I've already blocked them.
All of them. Austin Slater hits a deep fly ball to center, but O'Neill Cruz there. Hey, O'Neill Cruz in the home run derby.
I was just about to bring that up, man. I was doing Monday Night Raw at the time, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. I had home run derby on my phone
Yes.
on the desk. I was trying to multitask. Saw O'Neill, send some balls very, very far.
Dude, 513.
It was crazy.
Can you imagine being able to hit a ball that far?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, me neither.
Under no circumstances. And I know we're talking about Major League Baseball and the Pirates, but did you happen to see the home run that took place in Japan this past weekend?
No.
One Trevor Bauer gave up the longest home run in Japanese pro baseball history.
No way.
593 feet, I believe it was. Like inhuman. It doesn't sound like a real number. Like no human should be able to hit a baseball that far. It happened.
I have to go look that up.
Yeah,
I cannot believe I haven't seen that.
It came up on my Instagram feed, I think, the other
Right.
day. It was,
Yeah.
I watched it a few dozen times, and then I left some bad comments on Cody's page.
Well, of course, as you must. Bailey Falter, 2 quick outs, dealing with a little bit. He hasn't thrown very deep into games recently, so you hope to see him kind of go further into this game today. After obviously coming back from the All-Star break, it's not that big of a deal because he's going to be able. The bullpen's fresh. But this is something that, as the season's gone on, the pitching for the Pirates has been really good.
The pitching has been spectacular.
Yeah.
I think if the bats ever get hot and stay hot for any duration, that could be a total game changer. I actually wanted to ask you a question, though. Coming out of the All-Star break, to your point, Bailey Falter, how much pressure is he feeling starting the second half of the season? Are they going into this game with that mentality of, hey, it's a fresh start? Is he still thinking about the first half? What's likely going through his mind right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Other
kind of
than
the same thing. That
bomb he
is
just gave
a
up.
laser home run. Wow.
He was probably
Edgar
thinking,
Caro.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that was a line drive home run. That got out in a hurry. But that looked off the bat like it was just going to be maybe a line drive catch in left field.
Yeah, it looked like it
stayed up.
could have been routine, and instead one of the young Buccos fans has a nice souvenir to take home.
Yeah. This is Edgar Caro hitting third in the White Sox lineup tonight. Gets a fastball low and in. That's the one place that Bailey Falter can get hurt at times with that fastball. He's got such a good fastball. When it's up, people can't get to it, right? It takes longer to get up there.
Oh,
but
that just made it.
Man, when it's down, it'll be there. It's tough. Miguel Vargas hitting fourth, traded last year from the Dodgers to the White Sox in the Michael Kopech trade. He's got a, South Side helmet there. That's nice. Or the pilot's hat. We don't like that. Southsiders being in Pittsburgh, right? I mean,
the south side of Pittsburgh itself is quite all right. But
That's true.
The south side of Chicago, I don't know how I feel about that.
any Chicago fans, when the Cubs play here, man, it's crazy. There are so many Cubs fans that
They
show
travel
up.
very well.
They
Yes.
do travel very well.
We were talking about the mentality of the Pirates and looking for a fresh start in the second half. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that the White Sox probably have that same sort of mentality.
Course,
They're looking
course.
for the same sort of opportunity to come out of the gate strong in this second half and come here and beat up on the Buccos for a couple days.
Yeah, the White Sox are even younger than the Pirates are. They've got a lot of guys that, Colson Montgomery, for example, this guy, Miguel Vargas, Chase Mydroth, who already hit in this inning, guys who are really young that they're hoping will become their next core. It actually wasn't that long ago that the White Sox were a pretty good team. And unfortunately, all the stuff they had built through their system, none of it really panned out.
I feel like they were pretty strong until, was it Tim Anderson that got knocked out or got dropped?
Yeah,
on the
seriously.
It was like that omen, like nothing has gone right since then.
It's all been downhill. That's a good point. Cody, so I think at this point we can probably guess who you're painting. I find it absolutely incredible that already this quickly you can make it look exactly like the person you are painting. I don't understand you.
I can slow down if you guys want.
No, please continue. Another line drive. This one just foul. That's all right.
man,
You get
that
away
could've
with
been
that
I
one.
think you need to step it up a little bit and maybe paint 2 or 3. I mean, we're going to be here for a little while. It's a long baseball game.
I
Right.
should have brought extra canvases. I keep turning and looking and watching the game too.
So far, we got, unfortunately, a solo home run by Edgar Caro. But look, if Bailey Falter can get out of this, you still only one run. The Pirates' offense is going to have to be the thing that takes over this second half anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So it'd be nice if you're going to come back and win a game day one in the second half, that would be a good feeling because they've really struggled in coming back when they're down earlier in the game. That's been one of the things that's really hurt the Pirates this year. This one inside, so that's going to be a walk. Unfortunately, the inning will extend now at Falter at over 20 pitches. But look, let's go a little bit. We still got 2 outs, so you don't want to get too into the weeds here. But you got favorite players growing up in Pittsburgh that you really, cherished?
Yeah, well, I'm old enough, I'm going to date myself, that I still
Nice.
vividly remember the outfield of Bonds, Bonilla, and Van Slyke, which were some wonderful times as a kid.
Yeah.
And it seems like we've yet to recapture that same sort of magic as a whole. But I mean, you name it, Andrew McCutchen, Jason Bay. I mean, think of some of the heavy hitters that have come through over the years. I remember as a kid really loving Jose Lind. It was one of my favorites as a kid, and Mike
Right.
LaValliere behind the plate.
Spanky, man.
Spanky was the
we
man.
had Spanky on the last Unobstructed Views. He talked to us for like an hour. He was one of my favorite guys. He would come to spring training, and hang out, and just the lessons he would teach were amazing, but he taught them in such a funny, derogatory way. He was the best at saying things that if other people said them, they'd offend you.
They'd be picking up their teeth.
Exactly. But the way Spanky did it, the way he delivered everything, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
He was one of my favorites, and I have to mention Jason Kendall as well. I mean,
Right.
that guy kind of personified that gritty, what you want a big league catcher to be,
And like a pirate, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a Pittsburgh Pirate.
Yeah, gritty, blue collar, grimy players. Those have always been my favorite.
That seems like a pretty common theme for Pittsburgh. I've been out here for, I was about half the year for 7 years. I was out here. Now I've been here for 2 more years. And man, it really is, everybody always talks about that kind of more blue collar feel to the city of Pittsburgh. But when it comes to the players, like that is what is desired. You want to see guys that care.
Right. You want to see ugly baseball. is what makes the Steelers so, not good.
Benintendi, line drive into right center, and that's going to be an RBI. Oh, we're going to have a play at the plate. No, not in time. RBI double. Wow, 2-0
Sox.
quick start here for the White Sox as Vargas is going to score 3 hits, a home run. You get 2 quick outs, you get a home run, a single, and now Benintendi with the lefty-lefty double. Interestingly enough, Bailey Falter's actually been worse against lefties than he has against righties this year, which is something you don't see very often.
It's not, but it's not something that we're happy to see in any situation.
No, not ideal. Vargas not even really getting a great jump there because you see in that situation, you're going in the gap.
It looks like he's hobbling a little bit.
Yeah, it
being
doesn't look
honest.
very comfortable. Maybe we'll hear something about that a little bit later. Luis Robert Jr. at the plate. Now, he has really struggled this year, only hitting 190. It's weird to think Luis Robert Jr. was regarded as one of the top trade candidates last year at the deadline, and then this year in the offseason, and now this year we haven't really heard anything about him because it's just been a bad year.
You would know this obviously better than I. How important is the chemistry of the team and the environment of the team for a player? Because to your point, at the trade, you have these high expectations, these high hopes. Sometimes you just don't fit.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
Could
that
think
be the
so.
case?
Well, nowadays they don't. The human element is largely lost in Major League Baseball because mostly what it comes down to is analytics. What kind of numbers can you produce? Because it's looked at less of, this guy just had a baby, so for the next week he's probably not going to sleep. And it's more looked at like, well, we look at his numbers, we see his exit velocities, so over a 162 game span, this is what you're going to get. But you can't look at it in small sample size, if that makes sense.
It does, and it's sort of unfortunate that certain things that were so highly valued at
Let's
Cruz
see.
going.
Cruz got that missile. That's not going to happen, though. Another RBI base hit for the White Sox. 3-0 here in the first off of Falter. The White Sox, 4 hits in a row now after 2 quick outs. That one, a splitter. Now, Luis Robert Jr. gets a little bit off the end of the bat, gets it enough to get into center field. This is not going the way that you would hope.
No, certainly not the start the Buccos would have hoped for.
What do you got going on over there, Sabol? Oh, I think we know who it is now. Officially.
You spoiled it.
If you can spell, you got
spoiled
it,
it.
I think. Yeah, this is this is the guy that I think can change the trajectory of Pirates baseball for
Absolutely.
the next decade. If we're praying that happens.
hope so.
I think this guy is great. I think his demeanor is great. I think he really represents Pirates baseball better than anyone.
He embodies it really well.
Yeah, same way McCutchen did when McCutchen came in what was that, 09?
Yeah.
Same. I feel the same thing. Maybe more so with Skenes because Kutch can't throw 100 miles per hour.
I know. Isn't that weird? The bummer part is that a starting pitcher does only throw once every 5 to 6 days. So you think that a position player can have more impact over a season because they play every day? But at the same time, if you can win a game every time you go out, that does pretty much everything you can do, right?
Well, absolutely. I mean, very few, unless you're a pitcher, there aren't really.
Oof. Robert gets second, stolen base.
Got excited there for a second. Yeah, I mean, you figure the pitcher's the only one who has that level of control over the entire game. A position player can do the best they can. They play more frequently. They have obviously more at bats, but to be a total dominant player and be able to change the trajectory of an entire organization and control an entire game, that really solely relies on the pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, it's a unique perspective because there's as a position player, let's say your major league debut, right? You can go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and obviously you're bummed, but your team could absolutely still win that game, no question. But if a starting pitcher goes out for their major league debut and gives up 9 runs in the first inning, well, then you pretty much already lost the game, and you can say, I actively lost our team the game today.
Right. Well, with the unfortunate part is you've got Skenes, who every time he steps on the mound is absolutely dominant. He's putting up ridiculous numbers. He doesn't have any run support.
Yeah. Braxton Ashcraft is already warming in the bullpen for the Pirates. Not really what you're looking for here in the first. Bailey Falter now up near 30 pitches, 33. That's pitch number 34, and just foul. Close one. That would have been very unfortunate, as has been the rest of the first inning here for Falter. 3 runs already in, and another runner on second base.
Barely.
Woo, that's close. That's really close. Do you remember any big plays that happened, growing up?
Unfortunately, Sid Bream scoring the run for the Braves. Sid Bream, who was a Pirate, who I knew was introduced to as a Pirate, stuck the dagger in the back of the Buccos, and we've never been the same since. That unfortunately is probably my most vivid baseball memory.
This one is hit high up in the air out to right field, but looks like Reynolds has settled underneath it, and that's finally the third out. So 3 outs. 3 runs for the White Sox. Cody Sabol finishing up that Skenes painting when we come back here on Unobstructed Views. Paint on. Man, you are unbelievable. I think what you do is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I hope you understand that. It's amazing to watch how efficiently, no wasted, do you call them strokes or,
Well, that's a good question. I don't even know what I call them.
Yeah, it's a good
They're not
point.
really strokes, are they? They're just I just smash the paint into the canvas. A lot of the times just hoping for the best.
So, Cody, look, Pirates go down 3-0. Obviously not the start you want, but because of that, because of the length of the first inning, you're already almost completely done with this painting.
I just, I'm looking forward to that nice seat next to you guys on the couch.
Yeah.
That's my big goal here. Good painting, get to sit on the couch,
So
we have to decide if it's good enough
that's
or not.
right, yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
We should have an audience vote.
So far, you're like on the armrest, but you're not quite in the chair yet.
I'm going to send it out to the ex-viewers and have them post, should Cody be allowed to sit?
Right. Should he be allowed to sit?
There.
I'm going to throw in a special little, a little secret inside the painting, a little something extra that we can, hopefully earns me that seat.
All right, that sounds good. Tommy Pham flies out quickly on the third pitch of the at-bat, 1 out here in the Pirates.
He just showed me a $100 bill. I think that's what he meant. I think that was the special in the.
Right. It's just
Yes,
he's gonna throw it on.
Cody.
I can. Okay, so I want to talk to you about training for wrestling, because I know that as a baseball player, we have very specific. You have a lot of it that's just regular strength training and getting yourself stronger, your body stronger. But then there's a lot of specific, as a pitcher, for example, a lot of arm stuff, weird movements, a lot of weird core things. Does wrestling have specific workouts you have to do? Like, do you have to do more tumbling and things like that to get used to how that works?
I think across the board, the evolution of how pro wrestlers train has mirrored that of pro athletics, whatever they may be.
Right.
Over the years, historically speaking, you look back in the 70s and 80s, and a lot of these guys were really banged up. They didn't understand how to take care of their bodies like an athlete. They wanted to look a certain way, but when you pack on 300 pounds of muscle, which is kind of unnatural in and of itself, as Kutch comes up short at first there. I think everybody sort of has a better understanding of the physiology of what it takes, because, yes, it's predetermined, but it still hurts. You are putting a lot of mileage on your body, doing something that your body's not made to do. So over the years, particularly in the last decade or so, the training facilities, particularly in WWE, we have the Performance Center down in Orlando, where it's a lot more specialized, and everybody has their own different things. Certain superstars who wrestle different styles may train differently or for different things, but durability has become very, very important to everybody, and understanding recovery. And as recently as probably 10 years ago, if you were banged up, you just had to fight through the pain. And you go a little further back, if you didn't wrestle, you didn't get paid.
Right.
But now, contracts are more talent friendly, as they are in most sports. But the company has grown to understand that, hey, I'd rather lose this guy or girl for a few weeks so that I don't lose them for 7, 8, 9 months, which still inevitably is a part of the game. One of our top superstars, Seth Rollins, just got hurt Saturday night on live television. We're still kind of waiting to see the results of that, and he's a top tier superstar.
Right.
And so when someone of that caliber goes down, yes, it's next man up. It provides an opportunity, but it's still an unfortunate part of the game, because at the end of the day, our bodies are not made to be bounced around like we are.
No. So you get a fly out from Pham, a ground out from Kutch, and a ground out from Reynolds. Send your questions to us at SNP Pittsburgh, hashtag SNP Views. We will come back here on Unobstructed Views in just a minute. Cody, how did you decide finger painting? Is it the fastest way to do this, you think?
Well, so I had been doing this in college. It was a small little college in Kentucky called Kentucky Christian University. The nearest Walmart was like 40 minutes away, and I didn't have a car. I'd seen somebody do it online. His name is Jared Emerson, legend in the performance painting realm, and I was just like, if Jared, if that's the way Jared's doing it, I could do it that way too, and just made the most out of not a lot.
I mean, it's truly, it's amazing how it just comes together so perfectly when you start out with just a face and a little bit of I don't even know what you call it, scraggles of paint, I guess, there. Since we're not doing strokes, we got to figure out a new word. Colson Montgomery, the young shortstop, now playing in his 8th, 9th game as a major leaguer. He's got some special stuff. Prospects in baseball, right? Guys who are brought up and everybody talks about them. Everybody knows that they're going to be a big deal, whether they pan out or not.
Right.
They get so much attention early before they even made their major league debut. Does that exist in wrestling?
Not necessarily. A lot of the development now is so public. I mean, we sort of have, I hate to call it minor league, but it would be our AAA,
right,
is NXT. And that oftentimes is where a superstar will start to catch fire, kind of start to figure it out. And then it creates the excitement for them to arrive on a Raw or a SmackDown. And then every once in a while, somebody comes out of the blue that just blows people away, that you don't see them coming. But as far as anticipation goes, particularly in WWE, we've got definitely the biggest, arguably the most robust roster of the best from around the world.
Right.
Occasionally somebody, in Japan will make some waves, make some noise, and certain pockets of our fanhood will be aware of that and be looking forward to it. But as far as prospects go, it's very hit or miss. And there have been times where somebody in NXT or somebody's on a trajectory to be the next big thing, and for whatever reason they don't pan out. It happens certainly, I think, in every aspect of sport.
Right. Falter gets the looking strikeout of Montgomery. First out. Look, the first inning doesn't go Falter's way. Gives up 3 runs, but that's how you come back. That's how you respond. You get a strikeout to start the second inning. One of the things that's going to be important for Falter now, as a starting pitcher, when you give up those runs at first, right now in his head, I guarantee you what he's thinking, even though I don't think he'd ever say it, is I can still get a quality start. You can still go 6 with only 3 runs if you have shut down 5 innings after this. It's not easy to do, but it is possible, and people do it all the time. Give up runs in the first, and then you settle in, right, and you start to feel better about it. This is what he's thinking now.
He's thinking that far down the line already?
Yeah, because you want to go, as a starter, you want to go as deep into every game as you can. So if you're already at 42 pitches here in the second, you start to do the math. Like, all right, if I have an 8-pitch inning here and I'm back at 50, then I have a 10-pitch, you start to do this.
Right.
Whether it actually matters or not,
yeah,
up for debate. Former Pirate Michael A. Taylor.
I was going to say, I haven't seen him in a minute.
Hitting the 9th spot tonight for the White Sox. Last year played for the Pirates. He didn't have a great season, but he's a guy that I really think that in order to get the most value out of him, he's got to play every day. Because he's going to strike out, but he will, if he plays every day, he gets 500-something at bats. He's going to hit some home runs. He'll steal some bases, and he'll play great defense. Interesting to see, goes to Chicago. The White Sox, unfortunately, haven't been obviously very competitive, but you get a center fielder now in O'Neal Cruz, you move him out there, and things change a little bit, right? You get that power out there, obviously amazing speed, and also an incredible arm.
I was
and the
going to say,
defense
he's got a gun on him.
That was along really well.
Absolutely, compared to the beginning of the season where it almost at times seemed like he didn't want to be out there, or he didn't really have as much interest in playing out there as you would have hoped. But he's definitely grown into the role, and when he gets to flex that arm, man, it is legendary.
Now we got a ground ball. Hayes over to first. That's smooth as butter. Speaking of smooth as butter, it's pretty close. How do you decide when you're done, Cody?
I was kind of going to wait for the break and see when I should put this handprint up. I don't know if we want to make a thing out of it. I could do it right now. And
I think the handprint, if you're done, I think it'd be a great time. This is the Cody Sabol autograph right here. Bam. Yeah, baby.
Handprint in the corner. That's how I signed all the paintings that I did this in 2015. And 10 years later, we're still doing it. So
I'm thinking about stealing his identity. I'm going to copy his fingerprints.
Yeah, well,
I don't have any anymore.
He told us that he did. How many paintings did you do at the Fan Fest event?
At Fanatics Fest, I did like 36 to 38. And
how long?
In 3 days, and it wiped my fingerprints clean off my body. I can't open my laptop, nothing like that.
It's a blessing and a curse, I guess, to be able to finger paint the way that you do. But what an amazing painting. Unbelievable. Paul Skenes, All-Star Edition. I have a question for you. What do you do with your paintings after you paint them?
You're not going to like this answer. Sometimes I paint them for social media, and then I paint them black after. These canvases are expensive, man. I gotta keep it moving with them, and you know, it's unfortunate. I keep the ones that I truly, really love. The ones that I'll do with like my kids, I'll keep. But for the most part, they get turned back into black.
And then you use them again.
Then I use them again, yeah.
So what canvas has the most layers on? What do you got?
Oh, there's
thick?
a really thick one,
Really?
and it's noticeably heavy. There's one. It probably has 15 layers. It's at least double the weight of a normal canvas.
Wow.
It has Superman on it right now.
Okay. So then how long is it going to stay Superman?
I like that one. I might keep it forever.
That's the one you just did, right?
The one I just did. Realistically, I can't really do too many more layers. It's starting to feel like drywall.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you can come join us if you want. I know you got to kind of wash your hands.
I'm gonna
at
wash
some
my
point.
hands first,
Yeah.
and then I'll come join you guys.
What's your when you do these paintings? What are you thinking about? Is it a specific thing that you need to make sure you're going step by step, or is it all?
I like to go step by step. I kind of have this formula where I like to use the next level of dark, which is this red. I build the face and then go from there.
Yeah. We'll get some more after the break from Cody. What an amazing painting, dude. So awesome.
Thank you, guys.